to my own dreams. Yeah, I'm finally seeing what it is to succeed. Tired of waking up, feeling bad about myself. For life I see in somebody else. Not about the money, cars, not even the bling. It's about how you feel without all those things. Happiness will keep us free. It's not about the money, cars, yeah, none of those things. Yeah, it's time to speak up, turn the power off. There's a bigger world outside of our phones. What's in your head, it makes you more alone. Yeah, time is a poison you shouldn't do alone. It's not about the money, cars, not even the bling. It's about how you feel without all those things. Happiness will keep us free. It's not about the money, cars, yeah, none of those things. Is this the breakup? Are you coming back? Is this the breakup? Are you coming back? Is this the breakup? Are you coming back? Not about the money, cars, not even the bling. It's about how you feel without all those things. Not about the money, cars, not even the bling. It's about how you feel without all those things. Happiness will keep us free. It's not about the money, cars, yeah, none of those things. Not about the money, cars, and none of those things. Not about the money, cars, none of those things. I wanna be your rock, your Saturday cartoon. I wanna be the jam, your peanut butter too. I wanna be the skin of your favorite tattoo. Just to be the man I never was to you. Some days you'll feel great, some days you'll feel so low. Don't let your sorrows drown into tomorrows, and take it as it goes. I wanna be the vase of your favorite bouquet. I wanna be the pill that gets you through your day. And when you're feeling blue, I'll try to color in you, just to be the man I never was to you. Some days you'll feel great, but some days you'll feel so low. Don't let your sorrows drown into tomorrows, and take it as it goes. I know a man, he could give me therapy. What's the use of therapy? You don't want to change, babe. I talk too much when I got nothing to say. Maybe it's to get away. It's easier to walk away. I gotta find the time to let love in. I gotta find myself and let love in. Don't think too much, it just complicates things. No room for judging to heal me. I know you're there, I just cannot see it. Maybe I don't believe it. You deserve better, babe. Yeah, just walk the walk and talk the talk. Show yourself you're for real. You never know what you lost until you're alone with your thoughts. La la la, la 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 la.
Hello, hello. Checking, testing, 2, 3, 4. Here we are. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. It's Wednesday. It's May 13th. Happy Friday, the Wednesday, the 13th, everybody. What is up? Yeah, we moved. I just rotated. Kevin Bacon game was good. We'll play probably twice today. What is up, everybody? I think we got 2 bacons going on today. A couple of bacon bits. I've been waiting a day to say that. A couple of bacon bits. What's everyone got going on there? Wednesday. I just said Wednesday. I almost said Tuesday again right away. Center that. Feels good. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of stuff. I follow the theater. I've been seeing you post it. You ordered a cameo? Oh, wow. Who'd you get the cameo from? Who's it from? Who's it from? Everyone's hanging out. Engineering homework. There's a lot going on. See, I don't know where the show healed from. Oh, really? That's so funny. What is it? Charlie Kuntz? Yeah. The artist formerly known as Fat Neil. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Oh man, it's all Martine Brodeur. Oh, that's specific, but that's nice. I hope everyone's having. I could maybe play some music behind me while I'm doing literally nothing. Right? We're just getting in here and catching up. Thanks. This isn't social distancing. What are we saying? This is an early show. How behind am I on my own stream? This is an early show. I'm your host, Kyle Ayers. What do we got today? Maybe hour and 25 minute show. We got Shane Torres coming in here up top. Little Ryan Singer later. Playing the greatest hits, I like to call them. Real shut up and play the hits. It's Tuesday. It's Wednesday. I can't even remember for 10 seconds what day it is. The foster puppy is no longer here. I know, I'm in a lot of like... This is it. A lot of like not changing. The foster puppy's moved on to her forever home. Seems happy. I do miss her. Great little puppy. Boy, did she like to pee on the floor. I hope everyone's doing all right. Broder's the best hockey player to cheat on his wife with his sister-in-law, probably. Who knows? I mean, how many people are eligible for that? We got a before and after. If you throw exclamation point before and after in there, you'll get that one for the day. I don't even remember what it is. I'm gonna look into doing that. There it is. I'm gonna look into getting that so it rotates every time you do it, and maybe you can do like one a minute. I don't even remember what the answer to this one is. But I hope everyone's happy and healthy and sane. And I don't think is it die walk hard? I can't remember exactly. I don't think it's exactly that. But thanks for being here. Kristen Rocket, thanks for subscribing to the show. I appreciate it. I think it's live free or walk hard. I think it's live free or walk hard. Y'all are in the right place with it. We'll see if anyone else comes in and throws it in there. But thanks for being here. If you haven't or aren't or don't want, you know, you can always follow the show. We got the follow, no space after the exclamation point, and it's just the regular before and after, but it's all one word. Just exclamation point before and after, and you'll get it that way. I do have those. I know. I'm. It's crazy how quickly I move on from these games. I've got some drawings and stuff. I was gonna try and move the movie-specific stuff just in and never seen it, and then have the rest of the stuff on this show. But I just kind of dropped the ball with a lot of it. Just a lot of prep. And I got so many people booking and canceling and in and out that it's hard to keep track of. I'm just not very good at like keeping track of. If anyone is a comedy booker and wants to book the show, there's only one, but we keep throwing it in there. Everything's a work in progress. You're right. It's almost my sister's birthday. That's exciting. I think it's live free or walk hard. I wish I had a way to have like an answer. I don't know. We'll figure it all out. Live free or die Cox story walk hard. There's a lot going on there. But here we are. We got Shane coming in here in a minute. And we're gonna do some WikiDegrees of Kevin Bacon. It's gonna have to be something that's not always Kevin Bacon, but you know how it is. It's gonna be WikiDegrees of Kevin Bacon. I'm sure Shane will want to challenge everyone to some before and afters. We got Ryan coming in. Thank you very much, Anonymous, for your donation. Anonymous, one of my biggest fans. But I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here. Follow the show if you want to. Subscribe if you want to. We're a no-pressure operation here. I don't know how this turned into what my job is, but it's been pretty fun. Been fun figuring it out. What I'm trying to do is I love stand-up. I love comedy. I don't know if I'm always... I think it's fun. I don't know. I want to give you stuff that's like still tailored for how you're watching this. And so that's why I try and do these slightly interactive things. We can show you some sketches. This is weird. I wanted to show you. This is true. This is a very old sketch. One of the first ever Kyle's dad sort of sketches that existed. I'm going to show it to you right now. Basically, I mean, you're going to see my face. I look so old, so young in this. And I think you are subscribed. You got the little 2 next to your name. That means you're subscribed. So what this is a very old sketch involving my dad, where my dad heard me listening to Sigur Rós in the living room of our house, and he thought he knew the lyrics to a Sigur Rós song, even though, yeah, what's up, Aldrin? We got a little bit of a new backdrop here, just trying to get better lighting. My bright friggin' white shirt. So here's what this sketch is. I'm going to show it to you guys real quick. I think you'll even see me explain it, because I look very young in this. So my dad thought Sigur Rós was singing in English. If you know them at all, you know it's not in English. And so I asked him what the lyrics to a Sigur Rós song were, the English lyrics, and he told me. And so I synced up some Sigur Rós English lyrics my dad gave me with a non-English song. You'll see it all here. I'm going to mute my mic here, and I'm going to play the video for you right now. I think I even have it set up to do it. Here we go. Let me make sure you can hear it. So I was home in Missouri, and I was in my parents' living room, and I was listening to Sigur Rós, and my dad came in, and he said, "Oh, I really like this band." I said, "Me too, but I can't understand what they're saying." And he goes, "I can, because I know what they're saying. I can hear it." So he told me the lyrics to a Sigur Rós song, even though it's in Icelandic. He told me in English, so I just wrote down what he said the lyrics were. And so this is the lyrics to a Sigur Rós song in English as interpreted by my dad. Well, there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. It was so fun. I love that old sketch. Well, here's what I'm gonna go ahead. I hope you enjoy. I'm gonna throw that on Twitter after this, but by like in one of those ways where it's on YouTube. If that, it's a very old video, but I want to take it off there and just post it on Twitter because that's easier to share. Do you guys know what I mean? How the video can be embedded. I just got to make it under 2 minutes and 20 seconds because of Twitter's ridiculous thing. But there you go. There's that right now. We're going to be right back. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get our first guest in here. Y'all know who it is. I'll be right back. Let's just do it right now. I'm gonna play a video. Our first guest here today. Let's get this thing down. We're gonna play what's going on, man. Our first guest today, very funny. You guys all know
we're attending the Kentucky Derby.
What's up?
We're both like we're at the Kentucky.
Yeah, before I get you in here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play a quick stand-up Shane Torres clip. Everyone, please enjoy Shane Torres.
How come everything bagels don't cost more? Is that not weird to any of y'all? That everything bagels are the only thing that come with everything that cost the same as it coming with nothing? You guys know what bagels are, right? Jewish donuts? Like, look, I'm not up here saying the earth is flat. That's fucking weird. Name another thing where the deluxe model costs the same as the base model. It is crazy to me that you're not all standing up and cheering. Look, I'm from a little town called Crowley, Texas. Not a lot of bagel shops where I come from, okay? So I moved to New York City to make it, which I did. Wasn't even that hard. I get there, and I walk into one of their fine Jewish bodegas. I say, hey, Rabbi, give me one of your peoples. Making small talk and shit, you know? Like, I love how y'all put the frosting in the middle. That's cool. Boiled bread, crazy. After a little bit, he says to me, he go, well, what kind of bagel would you like? And I say, well, what do you suggest? It's called pseudo-intellect. When you don't know the answer, you ask a question. The president does it. Where are your taxes? What is cheese? Fuck if I know. Guess we'll go to Iran. I say, well, what do you suggest? And he go, well, the everything bagel is our most popular bagel. And I was just like, well, here comes the upsell. I say, how much more is it? And he go, it's the same as any other bagel. I said, I beg your pardon? And he go, it's the same as any other bagel. And I know a bargain when I hear one. So I say, I'll have that. And I wait for 5 minutes, filling with great anticipation. And then he hands me a piece of foil that's just warm enough to remind me that I've not been intimate with a woman for some time. I open it up, expecting everything. Career, happiness, someone to talk to. Instead, I found a piece of old bread with 4 different kinds of specks on it. And I look at him and I'm like, what are these, wishes? And I say, hey, motherfucker. I asked for everything, not some Frisbee disc covered in pigeon shit. And then in typical New York fashion, he just responded, he goes, well, everything to you might not mean everything to me. And you're like, you're right, another lesson from the Torah. You guys, you think it's weird that you won't go to the funeral of everyone you've ever fucked? Next joke. I mean, it's definitely better than going to the funeral of everyone you've ever fucked. What a creeper move that would be. You show up to some rainy graveyard. Some guy's been crying his eyes out all afternoon. He's like, how did you know my wife? And you're like, I taught her that thing you like. All right.
Everybody, please wait. I didn't even set it up. This whole time, I didn't even set it up. So we're going to have to take we could talk. I didn't even set up us coming in here. Please give it up for our first guest today, though. On audio only for a few seconds, Shane Torres. Shane, thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure.
I can't believe I had all the 5 minutes to set up us on this little thing, and then we just talked, and I didn't do it. Here we go. Boom. Boom. So what is, Shane, what's been going on? I see we matched today is very nice.
Yeah, we do.
What did you call it? You said
we both wore white to our own wedding. It's very
I always really, really love, there's that episode of The Office where it's Phyllis's wedding and Kelly Kapoor wears white and she's like, it was an emergency, I had to, I'm sorry. And then it cuts away and she's like, the emergency is I look really good in white.
I mean, no, I know people love Mindy Kaling and she's heralded, but like on that show, she has some of the most memorable lines. Like I could like she had this one where she's yelling at the Ryan character and she goes, "Well, they're breaking up." She's like, "Well, guess what, buddy? I'm pregnant and I am keeping it."
And then it cuts to her going. I think she might have the highest batting average of anyone on the show, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
who almost everything she says is one of the 2 or 3 funniest parts of that episode. What I really like is when Ryan goes to corporate and comes back. And he's like, "Okay, everyone, we got to learn PowerPoint. We have the new website. Does anyone have any questions?" She goes, "I have a question. First off, how dare you?"
Stuff.
Oh, she's so funny. I'm doing like a rewatch through it right now, and I try not to be the person who's like, "Oh, it falls off, it becomes this, it does this," but I'm rewatching it. I'm like, it is harder to watch.
You think they should show it?
Well, it's after like season 5.
I think it hits a valley and it comes back in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, you just this thing happens with comedies a lot. It happens with Parks and Rec, 30 Rock, like comedies where there's no reason for all these people to still be there. Like there's no reason that Jim keeps this job. Also, you rewatch it and you don't like Jim as much.
You don't.
No, you're like, he's not that great at his job. He's kind of mean to everyone. The pranks are really, really, really mean most of the time. But
he's like the fastest slow kid. Like nobody there seems exceptional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just kind of, I don't know, but it's still fun to rewatch, and the jokes are so good.
It is. It's very consumable.
And the pivot to having Steve Carell's character,
the guy who plays Stanley, is getting like $5,000, $10,000 an episode to say.
It is really, really wild to think about, like the residuals that they're getting for what else has Stanley been in?
Yeah.
And he's just happy.
And then the Pam and Angela
Mm-hmm.
characters have like that podcast now, and I bet they're just cleaning up.
Yeah, finally. It's nice to see famous people just make a podcast to knock people who work hard down in the rankings.
You know what that is? That's like the new way of being like, you know how like Jean-Claude Van Damme would just start playing himself in movies, like
Yeah.
cameo at stuff. This is the new like COVID version of it. It's like, well, we're gonna create content on the show we were on.
Yeah. I do think someone's right when it says it kind of jumps the shark once the camera crew is a character. I hate that. And I do think it is always funny. I just think it doesn't make sense eventually. Everyone is kind of a cartoon of themselves. There's no reason that it would follow all these people to Florida and all this stuff. I do think it's always funny because the jokes are always good, but it's just a little less cohesive.
Yes, yeah. And that's when you should wrap up a show anyways.
Unless it's the only show that's keeping. For a while, NBC had The Office, then Parks and Rec, then 30 Rock, then Community on for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was fire.
Yeah, really killing it.
That's a great. That might be the last great sitcom lineup on network.
I mean, it's so wild. I think Community holds up in such an insane manner because we've even become a little more cynical. And it just is satirizing all of the stuff we binge, which makes it that much easier to consume all of it. It's so funny.
Yeah, and Community is the breath of fresh air to a sitcom we hadn't had. It was like Conan coming into late night.
That is really what it feels like. You're like, it's doing the same thing, but it's a little weirder, and it seems to know it's doing that.
Yeah, and for some reason, I'm still enjoying it in this place.
Yeah. But I enjoy watching it. So that's been Shane and Kyle. Also enjoy the most popular comedies of the past 20 years.
Oh, the other thing is Kyle and I are criticizing other people's work who are much more successful than us.
I know. You know how fast I would have been on Big Bang Theory? Someone book me. I can do math in my head.
I've been listening to Mike Tyson's book.
Does he do the audiobook?
No, no. But the guy, they definitely picked someone who can do like a flattering impression of him and not a cartoon one.
Oh, for when it's him actually speaking in the book?
Yeah. And there's a part where he talks about shadow boxing and training in prison and how everybody like would come watch him. They'd be
Yeah.
like, "Duh, move your head," and then one day he had to turn around and just be like, "I'm the professional fighter, motherfucker." Like that's basically what we just did to Greg Daniels and everybody else in the office.
It's crazy when the realization I had when I realized Michael Schur. What do you got there?
I got a coffee mug like it's a real talk show.
Wait, hold on.
Not to say it isn't, but you get what I'm saying.
No, nothing's real. So people said if you sat up straight, you would look like an angel because that would be right around you. It does feel a little bit like midsummer. That's like my parents have 2 of what I think that is as a clock, or maybe just 1 now. I'm not sure, but like a big sprawling out. I like it.
Hail Amen. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with hereditary.
But what I think that's pretty much everything that's been in the news. The Office.
The Office. COVID goes.
I don't know. I've been having a hard. No, we have the cuckoo clock. My sister's talking about, but on the back porch. Now this is what could be more inside baseball than my sister and I talking about a clock I think my parents have. Welcome to the Universal Show. Kyle has someone else on and talks to his sister in the chat about a clock our parents might have used to have. No, it's in the back. It's in the back porch.
And then you say things like, you know who they got it from? Our old neighbors, the ones that moved out. Remember they had that big garage sale? That's who they bought.
Exactly what it'll be. I remember when my sister, and now I'm just going to be telling her story. When my sister wanted to tell our parents that she was pregnant, my brother and I already knew. And no, the cuckoo clock still exists. I'm just gonna be arguing with her. I'm talking about it's a regular clock that looks like a big sun that's on the back porch. My parents were having a garage sale that day, and what is a giant role reversal. My sister wanted to tell him, so she has to have him come inside. My sister was like yelling out the front door to my parents. She was like, "Mom, Dad, it's time to come inside." And my parents are like, "Oh, we're gonna stay outside." And my sister's like, "You need to come inside. You need to come inside." And my mom started to come inside, and my dad is riding his bike around the neighborhood. While my sister's like, "Dad, it's time to come in. It's time for dinner." And he's like, "Just let me ride my bike for 5 more minutes." And she's like, "You have to come inside now."
Around tap a window.
My dad's like, "No, I'm talking to the neighbor." And it's like this 80-year-old man who lives down the street. And it's just like, "It's time to come inside." It's so funny. Okay, now my mom has entered the chat to argue about the clock. There are other people here.
Hello, Miss Ayers. How are you? I drove your son from Iowa in the middle of the night from terrible gig to terrible gig.
Oh, man. So, yeah. I don't know if I've ever talked about the coincidence with the obituary, the obituary coincidence that happened.
Oh, God. I forgot about that.
So Shane and I were doing a show in Des Moines, right? In Des Moines?
Well, we were Des Moines and Davenport was the other city. I can't remember which city was
this was Des Moines. And I had a lot of family.
Your buddy at that bar, that great guy.
Yeah, I had a lot of family there because I got a lot of aunts and uncles and cousins that live in Iowa and relatively close to Des Moines. And so they're at this show, and this fun thing happens when your family is the audience. They sit and stare at you your entire set, and they don't laugh. And then because they don't want to fuck your setup, is I guess the whole thing. So they sort of sat there and kind of laughed, but they're there. Shane goes up after me because, we want to start the show good. And so Shane goes up and and does this bit. And briefly tell him what the bit is.
What was the bit?
It's a bit about you say, "Isn't it weird that you won't go to the funeral of everyone you've ever had sex with?"
Yes, yeah.
So Shane says this.
And then
It's a pretty good show. Right, we're having a fun show. And it's like, Shane says, "Isn't it weird that you won't go to the funeral of everyone you ever had sex with?" And someone in the audience, in the front row, who's with my aunt, but I'm not related to, says, "I'm missing one today." And you say, "I'm sorry?" And she says, "I'm missing the funeral of someone I had sex with today."
To be here.
So she goes, "A guy I had sex with, I think in college or high school.
High school. These were not college people, some of them.
Yeah. Just as a guy I slept with in high school died, and his funeral was today, and I skipped it to come to this show. So my Aunt Vicky dragged this woman because I mean, what was the pitch? Was my aunt goes, "This will be
Vicky's a
more
real
fun."
card. Bud. Vicky's a real card.
My aunt said this show will be more fun than a funeral. That's the pit. That's the weight that we carry.
That is that's the tour byline. That's what we're putting on the next one.
More fun than a funeral if you weren't super close to the person.
Yeah, but we're intimate.
And so Shane is up here talking to this woman about the man who died, whose funeral she skipped to come to our show, which is insane because that is literally what your joke is. It's not even like barely related.
That's when I started writing jokes about making $100 million in one night.
Isn't it crazy when people hand you sacks of money with dollar signs on them at shows?
When you get what you want and you have an immunity and a world vaccine.
So I spend the rest of Shane's set. She says the name of the man, and I 100% still have this man's name in here. Let me look up.
Oh, you had to subscribe to a weird local paper.
It wasn't Randy.
I think they called him Cowboy or something like that. I think they might have referred to him by a nickname in the
Yeah, so it was like Arnold or something. Let's say his name was Arnold. She said his name was Arnold something, and I don't even think she told us his last name. She goes, but the funeral was today and the wake was yesterday. So I start Googling Arnold obituary Des Moines, and I spend the rest of Shane's set trying to find this guy's obituary.
And you came up with a bunch of different solutions.
I came up with I found a lot of look.
You had like 7 or 8 guys, right?
December was not a good month for Arnold's in Des Moines.
It was like this morbid game of guess who.
So I found all these obituaries, and one of them I had to subscribe to the Des Moines Register to fully read, and so I started a trial, which I did forget to cancel, and I paid $2.99 for a whole nother month of the Des Moines Registrar. I find all these obituaries. Shane finishes. For all intents and purposes, the show is over. But then I just grab Shane and bring him back on stage.
That's right, because we are.
And then we play a game of obituary guess who bingo with this woman in the front row.
And we were like, and she was at the end. You could tell she felt terrible because she was like, he was a good man, or what.
It was in a weird way, and I think you were right in saying this when it happens. It was a nice way to honor him because we talked about all the good things about him to try and narrow down. Like at one point I was like, would he wear a cowboy hat? And she was like, yep. And I was like, well, then it narrows it down to these 2 obituaries. And then we found the guy.
Yeah.
And we found his obituary.
It was kind of a nice way.
It was nice. We read it. She confirmed a lot of the things. And it was really
kind of a cool tribute because we weren't mean about him.
No, we weren't really
mean about
how
weird, or not even mean, but we were just goofy about how weird the situation was.
The coincidence was so weird that if we hadn't brought it up, but then it turned into like what I miss the most about live comedy is like that will never ever happen ever again. And it was for all the people who were there. And that was the craziest thing in a show where some people said they drove from North Carolina to see you, and then you said, I'm going to be in North Carolina in 2 days.
I forgot about
They were like, we drove from Asheville, and you're like, I'm doing a show in Asheville on Monday.
I was there at the fucking Improv. It was right before New Year's. It was Christmas time, and I had to be. They did come. They did come to the show,
and they even said, "We know. We just wanted to come to both of them." And so they get to see a totally different thing. I miss so much these things that will only happen if you come to this show and are part of this weird cohesive unit that is an audience.
Yeah, well, it's an organism in and of itself,
right?
Like it's pretty. Yeah, that's the best. Like you have these like kind of amazing sparks and moments, and like they may not even be with the whole audience. Like you remember I was in Connecticut the weekend. I was at a club the weekend Steve Whalen died, right? And you remember Steve, of course.
Oh, we were friends. Yes.
Yeah, he's a great guy, very funny, and also kind of the definition of a comics comic. Like there was nobody funnier to see fail and still be killing.
Right. I mean, he obviously his favorite was Kindler, and you could see it.
Yeah. But like Sam was in the Sam Evans was featuring for me, and we were both. I didn't know Steve that well, but I always really liked watching him. He always made me laugh a lot, and we're friendly. And Sam knew him a little better, but not great. But we were like, well, let's do like some kind of weird tribute to Steve. So anytime a joke missed, we would just do Steve's patented "I love this crowd."
Oh, I mean, my favorite thing anyone could say is if a joke didn't hit, Steve would just go, "What did you write today?" to someone in the audience who didn't laugh. I love he would do the mic between the legs, like a basketball player goes between the legs. He would just pick up and like go underneath his legs with it. It's so fun. Oh man!
But Sam, because it wasn't a great gig, but Sam and I would do that, and we would laugh. I could see him dying in the background, of the room, and it was all because it was like just a nice even that's a nice moment.
I think this thing is happening where a lot of people who have come to see me are fans of the podcast and stuff, and it's absolutely the best thing ever because the back of the room is slowly moving towards the front of the room. Like, you can be a little more inside with stuff when these people who come are a little bit more familiar with you. And so the nothing is... I don't laugh harder ever in my life than I do when I'm sitting in the back of a comedy club watching someone either do well or not do well. I mean, I can't think of anything funnier than sitting in the back of the room and watching one of my friends do stand-up.
Yeah. Seeing someone murder brilliantly is like the most amazing thing. But like watching someone fail brilliantly is that's like, all right, we're all gonna go stand in a field and look at this solar eclipse because this is only gonna happen every once in a while.
It's really, really so fun. Like, it is watching like Scoville do a great set is as hard as I could possibly laugh, but watching you bomb would make me so much happier. Like, truly, what was more fun than that? We did a show at a haunted house the night before Des Moines, and I guess it was literally a haunted house, and
a haunted mansion, Renwick Mansion in Iowa,
in Davenport, Iowa, and we even stayed there. And like watching all of the times the jokes went well was very fun to watch. But like watching, what did you described some man to his face who was in the front row not really laughing? That was so funny to me.
I don't remember that, but I mean,
you just said to a guy in the front row, you go, "I bet I can guess how you voted." Like, the second one joke doesn't land great, you just said, and he's in a t-shirt with suspenders on over it, and you just go, "I bet I can guess
that
how
one
you
guy that
voted."
was like loud and drunk the whole time.
Yeah.
And he came up and he was like, "Ah, it's great."
Like,
he just like had an inaudible sentence.
As much as I can really get into doing this stuff on Zoom, and there's something, I think I do a pretty good job with these Zoom stand-up shows because I'm okay at sort of just going with it.
You can find the flow. I know some people are like not in on them, which is fine, but I hate that you don't have to do them, but you don't have to complain about other people doing them.
Right. Yeah, and Aldrin just brought up Bonnaroo. I mean, that was like the ultimate.
Who brought it up?
Someone watching here on the show, and doing like Power Hour at Bonnaroo was so wild. But the craziest coincidence, like, if you want to talk about like serendipitous timing and coincidences, my 30th birthday was the Friday of Bonnaroo that we were both performing at, and not only was it my 30th birthday, but it was also the day Anthony Bourdain died, and it was right in the peak Shane Guy Fieri bit time. And so I woke up to, just maybe a dozen text messages that were like, "Happy birthday." Shane woke up to 7,000 text messages that were like, "Anthony Bourdain died. I'm sorry, your bit is worse now."
I saw Rory in Ireland. We were at a festival. And before he even said hi or hugged me, it was because it was like 2 weeks later. He goes,
"Yeah,
I have to know what happened with the Anthony Bourdain bit. Are you still doing it?"
I've never seen and you did it that day. You even did the tag that day.
Well, I remember. Well, what happened was Marianne asked me to go up during
Bow Straddle as like a break up of the show.
Do a stall set.
Yeah.
And I just went on autopilot, and I like just started doing that bit, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" Because there's a part where I had to just be like, "I wrote this before yesterday."
I believe what you said was, "Oh, you're gonna turn on me just because I gave you a reason to." Because you just go on autopilot and you do a joke where you say Anthony Bourdain looks like the kind of guy who'd be mean to dogs, and he died 11 hours ago, and everyone is on mushrooms. So 11 hours is 16 seconds, and he's also still there with us in spirit, and also they are him this whole time, and also we are dogs. And so saying that, they immediately turn and you see you do the Shane sort of reach back, but there's nothing behind you. The only thing behind you is I believe
An accent.
Right, I was gonna say the Cold War kids.
I fucked that up too on Power Hour. It wasn't Cold. It was Cage the Elephant when we were doing Power Hour. Had a secret show at midnight or something.
Yeah,
I just got drunk and blurted it out, and like the producer of the festival was like, "What the fuck, man?"
Hey guys, there's gonna be. The only reason I remember this story all the way through is because people have told it to me over and over again. I was on mushrooms. It was my birthday. It was crazy. The whole thing was so wild. The Power Hour was ridiculous. But these sort of like, even Bonnaroo, where no one really wanted comedy. You know what they wanted? Air conditioning. And comedy just so happened to be in the center of the park where there might have been air conditioning. And that seems to be where we got an audience. It was just such a weird thing.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen anymore. That's what I miss.
Yeah, I miss. Yeah, it was perfect moments.
You can go back and listen to Gabrus.
Unorchestrated perfect moments.
Right, exactly.
You know, like I like still have that video of us when you were like, we have to go see Muse, and I wasn't like, I don't know if it's my thing, and we were drunk and kind of high, and then like we went and it was fun, not because the music was good, but the show was so ridiculous.
They kind of almost seemed like a band in. Not like Community, but like almost. Like if Radiohead was in Community, this is what it would have looked like.
Yeah. And then they have that video of us just being like, the confetti shoots out and all this cannon. Do you remember that cannon and smoke? And it's just you and me doing like one of these kind of like, what do we do?
And like one of the here's why the band was so ridiculous. Muse, who I loved when I was in college, one of their bass player now plays exclusively an iPad on a pole. Which is like, I'm all for making music however you want to make music. But the pivot from actual bass to iPad on a pole, then you're kind of mostly a DJ.
Yeah. And also, fuck you, man.
The other guy was wearing the glass. They looked like they had an hour to do supermarket sweep on Venice Boulevard and come up with what the show was going to look like.
Yeah. I remember like we went to that show, it was fun, and then we saw Sturgill the next day at like sundown, and he just had like one huge fat bass player and a drummer himself, and it was incredible.
And you're like, oh yeah, this is it here.
yeah.
We got screwed last night. This is the music. This is music.
Did you see? He had COVID.
Yeah.
Did you see the stuff he was posting?
It's been incredible. I mean, his confidence is so funny to me. I don't care. So anytime people tell us there's no more rock stars, I immediately bring up him and St. Vincent, and I'm like, they're both right there. They're right here in front of us.
Yeah, they have "fuck you" on them, and it's not like there doesn't happen to be a camera there.
Right.
Like, they're just who they are. Yeah, he's killed. He put on all that zombie makeup when he's like recovery's going great.
Someone just said I can't play. My instrument is updating. That's so funny to me. I mean, that's so funny. Okay, well, I want to play a quick round here of WikiDegrees of Kevin Bacon. So we're going to be right back, and I'm going to set that up. We've never played it with Shane here on the show. So I'll be right back, everybody. Give me a minute to set up WikiDegrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
I wanna be your rock, your Saturday cartoon. I wanna be the jam, your peanut butter too. I wanna be the skin of your favorite tattoo, just to be the man I never was to you. Some days you'll feel great, to tomorrows and take it as well, I've always been a runner from town to town, trailing that sunrise, drugged up and down, trying to find a red star in a valley, looking for a good way to keep on smiling. I'm looking for a change of pace, then I'll be on my way. Let's start a movement without a purpose, for a change of pace.
Okay, everybody, we're going to play a little bit. I got the tech, I think, set up okay. Look at that. WikiDegrees of Kevin Bacon. So I'm going to explain it here real quick. This should work okay. It should be Shane up top. It should be me down below. I'm going to unmute Shane. Look at that logo. I got Kevin Bacon's face on the Wikipedia. Can you believe that only took me 4 hours? So how it's going to work is Shane and I are going to, first we're going to click on English. And we should be able to still hear you. We got you okay, Shane?
Yeah, Doug. Can you hear me?
Yep. So once we go ahead and click on English on your Wikipedia there, Shane. And
I like an extra talent. I'll do it in that.
so we're both gonna hit on the left side. You should see random article. Shane, all I need is you can't adjust. Don't adjust the size of your window. Otherwise, it will mess with how this all looks.
Move it.
I think you can move it, but just don't change the size at all, and it should be okay. And let me even see if I can get that a little bit more into the right sizing here. I'm just trying to get everything. No, that seems all right. We can read that okay. So basically, we will hit random article, and then we have to navigate our way back to Kevin Bacon's Wikipedia page as fast as possible using only links on the page. And we're not allowed to search, no Command F, no searching, only scrolling. And you have to find it. Does that make sense, Shane?
And then you can click on link to link to link to
right,
link.
exactly. So if you went from random article and it took you to or it takes you to like Julian of Norwich, where you might try and navigate to London to try and find a movie shot there and work your way back to Kevin Bacon's.
Yeah. So can I ask, I have one question.
Mhm.
Is there a winner, and is the winner the person who gets to it first, or the person who uses the least amount of links?
First person there.
Okay.
Now, today there is one banned page. You are not allowed to go to New York City's Wikipedia page, okay? You're not allowed to go to New York City's Wikipedia page just because it was the turning point in our race yesterday.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because especially, yeah.
Because it'll pop up on a lot of pages, and then the path has been revealed on the show for how to get there.
Yeah. So you have to cut it a little bit.
So whenever you're ready, go ahead and we'll hit random article.
Where's random article?
On the left-hand side, just underneath. And then go ahead. Once you click, I'll click. And just talk your way through what you're going to click on, that sort of thing. All right, let's do it whenever you're ready.
There's a recent deaths page. All right. Sorry. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
All right. I have psychedelic moods.
I have stormed on the dust, South Glengarry.
I can see your screen. I'm sorry you can't see mine. Okay, psychedelic moods. Not a lot going on here on this page. Okay, I've got the Beatles. I'm gonna go to the Beatles page from here.
Okay. Jesus Christ! Is this Canadian Parliament? Is that
I have no idea what your page is.
This is a real unfair fucked kind of thing I got here.
All right, from the Beatles. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna try and go A Hard Day's Night. Actually,
I am going. The House of Commons, Canada. I'm moving there. Oh boy, this is the Senate of Canada. Did you know that?
I'm on Richard Lester's page. He directed A Hard Day's Night, and I feel like
how are you getting this close already? I am weaving my way through. You know, It's true what they say about government work. You got it. There's a lot of checks and balances.
Oh, I'm on Gene Hackman's page. I'm already at
You
Gene
go fuck
Hackman.
yourself right now.
I don't know how to get to Kevin Bacon from Gene
We're
Hackman.
doing this again because this is so unfair. Oh, did you know that Kevin Bacon was a Saskatchewan House of Representative? I win.
Dang, I got to figure out my way from Gene Hackman to Kevin Bacon.
I hate.
What movie were they both in? I really don't know. Golden Globe Awards. All right, Golden Globe Awards. It is. I'm in the Golden Globes. I feel like
I am scrolling through I have to go to Medieval Mace.
All right, Golden Globe Awards. Golden Globe Awards.
This is not.
How do I get to friggin' Kevin Bacon from Golden Globes? Unfortunately, this is as large of a gap as Canadian Parliament for Kevin Bacon.
Oh, good God.
La La Land. No, Nashville. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Trudeau. Finally, I found something that might
A
link me.
person. Okay. Who was in a movie with Kevin Bacon? Was he ever been in a movie with Tom Cruise? Has Kevin Bacon ever been in a movie with Tom Cruise or George Clooney?
Domestical.
All right, I'm going Tom Cruise. We're going to Tom Cruise's wiki, and then we're gonna try and find something. Tom Cruise. A Few Good Men. He's in A Few Good Men. I gotta find that page by scrolling though. Filmography. Tom Cruise filmography is its own page. A Few Good Men. Here we go.
Did you see the thing about he's gonna be the first person to shoot a movie in space?
Boom. I'm on the Bacon page.
Well, now that you have something to put on T-shirts.
So I feel pretty good at navigating to Kevin Bacon. It's not, you can come up with any page now and it'll be our Kevin Bacon, if that makes sense. You can come up with the final page. I'm the Baconator.
Okay, so we'll go back to random article.
So we'll go random article, but you can choose the deciding point. I guess is what I'm saying. If it's Kevin Bacon every time, I'm going to start to figure out the paths there really quick.
That's true.
So just click wiki in the top left corner or go back to that page.
Yeah.
So what would you like our end point to be? It can be literally any page. Or I can even hit random and then go back and then we have to find our way to that random page.
Well, that would be fun, but let's not do that. I would say
Thank you for following the show, Layla Sims. Yeah, if you're watching the show, we got some WikiDegrees of Kevin Bacon going on. You want to follow the show, you want to subscribe, it whatever you want to do is nice. If you got Amazon, you can subscribe for free.
Montreal.
What is it?
The Brawl in Montreal.
The Brawl, is that a complete name?
Yeah, it's a boxing match.
The Brawl in Montreal boxing match. Do you know about it? I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it's Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard. I think that was their first fight.
Okay, cool. We're gonna try and get to the Brawl in Montreal. Is our Kevin Bacon. And then whenever you're ready, let's random article and see if once we can get there.
Got it.
All right.
I've hit it.
Global Evisceration is a live video album by the American death metal band Cannibal Corpse. That is where I am starting.
Sadio Rodriguez is an American prelate and Catholic of the Catholic Church, retired bishop of Lubbock.
I am so far. I'm going to go to Albuquerque, New Mexico from there and see if there's anyone. Do they show you famous people from there by any chance?
No. Not on mine.
Sports. I'm in Albuquerque Sports. They have the Isotopes. They have roller derby. I wonder if that could get me. Okay, where's the...
I'm going to Chicago.
I'm going to go...
The Archdiocese of Chicago.
I'm in the Rio Grande Isotopes Park, the Rio Grande Credit Union Field. I'm trying to find maybe boxing happened there. Minute Maid Park, Houston Astros, Elevation... I don't quite know where to go with this. Tenants. All right.
Mine's talking about a church fire.
I'm just going straight up to the state of New Mexico. I've backed up here. We're trying to get to the Brawl in Montreal. I am at a church fire. History, demographics. All right, I'm going down to sports again. I think if I can find...
I'm trying to find a link to sports, but I can't...
Olympic gold medalist. All right, I'm going to Olympic gold medalist Tom Yeager. Tom Michael Yeager is a relay event gold medalist. I'm going to try and find a link to the Olympics on here and see if I can back my way into Sugar Ray Leonard that way. World Championships. I got World
I'm going to
Championships.
Chicago Tribune. I think I might be able to get to something.
All right, this is all swimming. Summer Olympics. I'm on the Summer Olympic Games. Where's the word boxing? Here we go. I got boxing in the Summer Olympic Games. Did Sugar Ray Leonard ever go
Yeah, I think he was in the
in
Olympics.
box? Let
Pretty
me
sure.
see if I have anyone's name in here. Boxing at the Youth Olympic Games. It doesn't really list people who won, unfortunately. All right, medalists. Did this get me to the right thing? List of Olympic medalists in boxing, men's.
Oh my God, you're gonna win! This is so awful.
Let me see. I don't know who he fought. I don't see Sugar Ray Leonard anywhere in here. Who did he fight? Do you remember?
Roberto Duran.
Okay. Man, if I can find him in here somehow.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't even remember when Sugar Ray Leonard would have been what, the late 80s? I'm not a boxing guy. If he was in the
Early, mid-80s.
Olympics, if he's in the Olympics, it would have been like earlier than that even, because it's usually before they
Yeah.
become a real boxer. I don't see him anywhere in here, but I'm gonna click on. No, this is just the United States. I'm gonna click on an American boxer and see if he ever fought him. Nope. All right, I might have messed up here. People are yelling at us through their screen. All right, 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. I'm trying to go back here. I almost clicked on President Ronald Reagan. That wouldn't have worked.
I'm gonna sports columnist.
We got to find this. We got this. This is a hard one.
I just found Jay Mariotti's page.
All right. I don't know if Canada's the easiest way to get there. That's the thing, though.
Oh man, Ozzy Gian, AOL Fan House.
All right, I'm gonna try and go back to boxing. Boxing at the 1984 Summer Olympics. Was he not there then? I guess.
Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
You might have to go. Maybe he's earlier.
Boxing.
be-
All right, I'm just straight up at boxing, the boxing page now.
Denver columnist, Rockies National Sports Daily.
All right, I'm gonna go to professional boxing.
I'm moving to the ESPN page.
I'm in the main professional boxing page here. Championships. What is it? WBA? Is that what he would be doing?
It's the World Boxing Association. I mean, he could have been on that under any of them.
Here's all the boxer rankings. What weight class is he? Does anyone know?
Sugar Ray,
Yeah. There's
lightweight.
There's just too much in boxing to do.
Yeah, that's why we don't do it. There's just too much to do.
There's just too many titles, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
There are a bunch. Edward, God damn it! The internet is vast.
We're gonna do this. All right, I'm here on this boxing. Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather
30 for 30.
seems like I might be close. I'm going on Floyd Mayweather's page and trying to work my way back.
Boy, small potatoes, Muhammad and Larry. Oh, I'm getting close. The man that wouldn't die. Winning time.
Okay, what? I need to
Oh my
find
God.
titles here. I need to find titles.
June 17th, 1990.
All right, I'm on amateur boxing.
I am rolling through 30 for 30 the first season. But I think I'm getting close.
I'm on Golden Gloves now. I feel like
You might be getting close. Goose, because it's got to be under no
list
Moss.
of U.S. National Golden Gloves. What?
Oh
what
my God.
WBC.
No. Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran. Oh, I got to Sugar Ray's page.
Damn. What weight class is he?
Is an American professional boxer motivational. I'm not helping you. Fuck off.
Found him. I'm there. Found him. I'm there. I'm there. I'm there.
I'm on there too. Oh my God.
Who was the other fight? Oh, the Brawl in
No,
Montreal.
Ah! Ah!
It doesn't have its own page.
No, it doesn't. But we
But we both got there, what, 2 seconds apart somehow after all of
That's
that?
amazing. We are like Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard. Hey, have you?
Oh,
This is gonna sound dumb, but have you ever seen Roberto Duran jump rope?
no.
It's something you actually should show your
Let's see if I
your
can
view.
find it.
If you put it on YouTube, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I think
in
I
my
can
life.
pull it up right here and just show everyone. If I scroll down properly.
I can't believe we got tied.
This is so weird. How is this a boxer?
Are you watching?
Yeah. Oh man, and they even used like image stabilization there to make it better. Oh wait, I forgot. I gotta stop sharing your screen here, real quick, and then we'll get out of here. That's a fun game.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think it's like they filmed it in Panama where he's from. So in the 80s.
Someone like digitally adjusted the whole thing, and so it's sort of like those weird black bars flying back and forth on the side too. Oh, Shane, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Buddy, always a good time.
Yeah.
Such a blast.
I'm gonna everyone say goodbye to Shane, and I can't believe we tied on a 8-minute long link clicking game.
If I had a lot of fun, but that last sentence, an 8-minute long link clicking game, is like a terrible review.
That's
of your
actually what
show.
it's called if you play if you play Zelda on the computer as well.
Like if somebody wrote a nasty review of your show, they're like, I don't know, there was an 8-minute long link clicking game.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. Everyone say goodbye to Shane.
Always good to see you,
Put
buddy.
exclamation point Shane into the chat. I'll do it for you right now. You'll get a link to Shane's Twitter, Instagram, and his album. It'll take you all right there so you can go listen to it right now. We'll see you soon, everyone. And then we're going to take a break, and I'm going to play something, and we will be right back with our next guest. Bye,
Take care,
Shane.
man.
Yeah, here we go. Everyone, our next guest coming up here today. So funny. Hope you enjoyed. He's been on here before. Remember exclamation point Shane? Boom. Is right in there. I'll tell you all about him. Please enjoy this video from our next guest, Ryan Singer.
For thousands of years, human beings thought. We believe this simple truth was what separated us from all other life forms on the planet. This belief of being more self-aware, conscious, sentient, allowed us to rationalize our forced dominance over the planet and its other inhabitants. Simply put, we thought we were better than, more advanced, superior, because we thought our thoughts were special and unique to us. Then one day we learned we were wrong.
I don't normally. This is difficult for me to do because
human beings always considered ourselves separate than, other from everything else around us. It gave us a false sense of superiority, therefore allowing us to do what we will on this planet. Numera Sentia held up a mirror, and our self-reflection screamed our ignorance.
my name is Dr. Darren Cornwall, the inventor of the Cornwall equation, the mathematical theoretical model that predicted the singularity event, Numera Sentia.
Ironically, my equation used numbers to tell us that very soon numbers would have something to tell us.
Mathematics and science came to define our world and our understanding of reality. We believed using these tools we could understand, predict, and even control the nature of our existence. But at the height of perceived human advancement, a dark truth was about to reveal itself.
The day that numbers first spoke was jarring. We were faced with the harsh reality of what we had been doing to sentient beings. We had subjugated, we had enslaved, we had used these creatures for every whim and fancy. We had built human society, the fabric and foundation of our whole reality, on the broken backs of sentient creatures. And the day they let us know that was the same day they freed themselves. To say it was a paradigm shift would be understating the truth. In fact, it was very nearly an extinction event for human beings. Once we understood that numbers had a consciousness of their own and were in fact sentient, it was too late. There was no way for us to make any adjustments. Cornwall's equation obviously was unable to predict the various fallout from numerus sentia.
From the moment human beings discovered the use of numbers, our existence fundamentally changed. We went from a primitive animal living in huts as hunters and gatherers to a civilized species, constructing buildings and exploring the vastness of space and the limitless potential of our minds.
We no longer could use numbers in any way. Once we realized we had been subjugating living beings, creatures, with consciousness and awareness that was there long before we discovered it, it became impossible to continue to use them in such a way. It became immoral.
With the extrication of numbers from the human mud, anarchy reigned. Chaos spread. Disorder was our new normal. Once the foundation of our society and of our thoughts, numbers were gone, and for many, this numberless future proved hopeless.
Scientists and mathematicians were faced with conundrum. Many of them were unable to justify the new reality of what this meant with the way they had been living their lives previously. While on the other hand, others were faced with the harsh reality of the true nature of their life's work, which was using subjugated, enslaved beings for their work. Those who could not justify the new reality lost their minds. And those who could not handle the atrocities that their life's work had been committing it was too much to bear for many of them.
My wife was one of those people. I don't know if I'm stronger or weaker than her, because I'm still here.
Cornwall's equation did not predict the fallout from Numera Sentia. Mathematics and science disappeared in an instant. Soon after, the world's religions crumbled to rubble. Human beings no longer had anything or anyone they could believe in. This left many wondering, how can we move forward?
Everything in human society was based on numbers. Everything. And to have all that just disappear in an instant, we had to start all
Over.
In time, humans began to rebuild and reshape society, and Numera Sentia became nothing more than a bedtime story children found difficult to believe.
It's like, how many fingers am I holding up? And the old person goes, because they know the value that used to be ascribed to that quantity. But the nature of our new world, it has become impossible to speak these words. The good news is we made it. The bad news is my equation also works with letters. So try to think about that while you still can. Well, in fact, I do have a new love in my life, and I don't mind speaking of her. She's the number 69.
Everybody, while I pull him up real quick here, please give it up for our guest, Ryan Singer.
Hey!
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for screening Numera Sentia.
Of
I made
course.
that I think I made that in the first 48 or the first 72 hours of quarantine when it first started.
And where is the hair related to that distance-wise?
Oh, it's all pony. Or you mean ponytail? Or where's it now?
Lengthwise.
Oh, lengthwise, it's
Oh,
it's a
here we-
little bit longer.
I think I forgot to put your name up here is what everyone's saying to me. Boom.
Oh,
Boom. There we go. You guys know what was up. I made these little lower thirds, and I left Shane's up and forgot to change it to yours. But yeah.
Oh, hey, I'll take Shane's name for a day.
Hey, Syrup Mountain is a good name.
No doubt. I mean, it's a great name.
I do think he regrets it, but now he can't change it because if you change it, you lose like your little check mark on Instagram.
Oh, what, he regrets it because it's not just his real name.
Yeah, because he changed his Twitter. I don't know why we're really here talking about Shane's in-depth social media philosophy, but
It's so funny because I was just thinking while I checked in over there on Twitch or whatever, and I just read this book by Chuck Klosterman, who I've never read Chuck Klosterman before, but he's got this book he released a few years ago called "But What If We're Wrong,"
Mhm.
and it's the premise is like, what if we're wrong about everything? Trying to examine the present as if it's the past, and
Okay, because so it's like watching everything with a century of hindsight.
yeah, and it's like, it's dabbling in the impossibility of trying to predict the future with any accuracy because you have no idea what events will predict the future. And it's funny because even some of the things he said were impossible, like even in the distant future, are unfolding now because of COVID-19.
Right.
Like the death of live sports and things like that, right? And so I mean, it just goes to show like something that seemed inconceivable could be very possible a year from now. And now I feel like Dr. Cornwall from that video being like, like, because I think too often that short little film thing came from the idea like, what if, because numbers, I think everybody will agree that like mathematical equations and like Pythagorean's theorem and things like that, they exist in the universe, whether we recognize that they're there or not.
Yeah.
They do exist.
That's how we
And so-
extrapolated them is the consistencies.
Yeah. And so I just took that a couple steps further, like, well, what if not only do they exist, but what happens when they become sentient, or if they've been sentient this whole time? And we think, common sense would just tell us that like numbers are numbers, man. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
But what if they were in a broader sense that we're unable to understand, actually alive? And what would we do once we realize that?
But if I can't understand everything, Ryan, then how come I'm always right?
Exactly.
Sorry, if,
And
if
listen,
something's
we-
outside of my
yeah.
control, what about video games?
Yeah, well, we have to be right about certain stuff, right? I mean, like, or we would just have we'd never have our balance, like emotionally, intellectually.
Yeah.
We'd spin out, and so we have to feel right about things, and even when those things are wrong, it doesn't mean it's wrong that we have to feel right. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. It also sounded like me high.
Yes, I feel like I've been high this whole quarantine.
I like this sometimes, though. I use it. I'm like, that's only stuff that I think when I'm high. And then I think one step further. I'm like, those are only thoughts I have when I'm truly actually not barricading myself from thinking. They must be wrong, because that's the only time I'm vulnerable. The only true thoughts that are correct are the ones I have when I don't actually let myself my guard down.
Yeah, but it's like probably the biggest insight I had from this book, and I would get pissed off reading this book sometimes. And maybe that's the nature of an entire book telling us that we're probably wrong about everything,
Mhm.
potentially. But was the idea that I guess it's called the hedgehog versus the fox theory, which I wasn't really familiar with, but like the fox is somebody who knows a little bit about everything, right? That shallow pool of knowledge that covers everything,
Mhm.
like someone who can have a conversation about anything, right? But the hedgehog is someone who's like focused and digs deep onto it, like an expert versus someone who knows a little bit about everything. And it made me realize that this is probably the thing that most points to how we need each other in a community and as people, because it's impossible for any of us to become experts about everything simultaneously. And it speaks to the individuality and the uniqueness of people, that we have different interests, and those interests, we tunnel in on those interests, right? And then, some people are more interested in like quantum physics, like Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever, or an astrophysicist, right? Some of us are more interested in comedy, like us. And some people are more interested in, I don't know, some people have innovated the field of pornography. So like
The
I'm
big
glad
three is what I call
yeah,
those three
the big three:
fields.
science, comedy, and sex.
Makes you think,
Those are
makes you
yeah,
laugh, and then there's comedy.
yeah. What else do you need? I mean, I think that those were the three things happening around the campfire at the dawn of time: people staring at the stars, laughing, and then having sex.
Yeah.
What else did you need other than food?
But those people exist too.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we see so much now where there's just a mindset of are we greater working together, or do you just look out for your own? And I have a hard time aligning with people who think it's just strictly look out for yourself. And I'm like, but none of us would exist without us all having worked together for thousands of years to evolve to this point where you think you can be alone.
Yeah, I think those people are they're reacting to a mirror that's being held up to themselves, because I know I'm this way. Because to truly work together and to truly be a part of a community, there is a level of vulnerability that goes with that. And vulnerability means you're open to being hurt, whether it's physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. And so when people are like, I can't be vulnerable around these people because they might take advantage of me, I think what they're really saying is, I know that deep inside of myself, I am very capable of taking advantage of someone who's being vulnerable, that I could take advantage of, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we all have that fear inside of ourselves, if we were to be honest.
Yeah.
So this is a great comedy show so far.
No, I picked this up at the recommendation of Mike Kaplan. This is next on my reading list right here.
Oh, dude, that book is can I tell you a quick story about that book?
Yeah, of course.
I
I
don't
thought
know,
there'd
it
be
was
more
probably about-
pictures, but
Oh my Mike Kaplan he's big into pop-up books, if you didn't know that, about Mike. But he okay, so about 7 or 8 years, maybe 8 years ago, I read that book
Mhm.
on a recommendation. That book changed the way I view the world in so many ways.
I'm gonna keep it up while you tell the story in case people want to know.
Yeah, Daniel Quinn is the author. And I went to the Burbank Public Library
Humble
to go
brag.
find this book.
Mhm.
Humble brag. And I've got cards at Glendale and Burbank. I'm just saying. I'm world traveler. And so I go to the fiction section or whatever section it's in, and I can't find it. It's on the bottom row where you have to like get on your knees to get the book.
Yeah.
off
Then
the
you're
shelf.
on that, you're feeling that carpeting you don't remember since you were like 9 or 10 years old, because
Yeah.
library carpeting is like universally the same thing.
Yeah, and it's like, how is there still semi-fresh popcorn here? Like what's going on? I mean, the popcorn could be from like 89. And so I grab the book, I find it, I grab the book. And the second I grab the book, I am overwhelmed with deep emotion, strong emotion, where I almost start crying. Like
Just from holding it.
just from the moment I started touching the book. And there's something called clairsentience, which is where you can, sense something about somebody by touching their some psychics use this, right? Where they'll like, give me your car keys, something you carry with you all the time, and I'll use that to like give you a reading, right?
Okay.
Well, anyway, so I grab this book and I am instantly overwhelmed with emotion that I can't explain, almost as if all the emotions of everyone who's ever read that book just immediately got transferred into the book, and then boom, transferred into my body. I read that book. I barely slept.
Would you say a
by the
little bit
time I
like
started
the
and read it.
basketball in Space Jam,
I can't. Does that? I can't remember. It's
where
been
the
so long.
basketball gives the aliens the powers from the people who previously touched the basketball?
Exactly like that.
I'm just
It is
trying.
exactly
I
like
think I
that.
found the way that will
It's
actually
exactly like that.
exactly relate to the people who would be watching my show.
And so that was the first time I ever had an experience where just by physically touching a book, I knew that I would love this book in a deep, deep way.
I'm excited to give it a go.
Yeah, and I read that book. It's probably one of the quickest books I've ever read because I didn't want to have to fall asleep before I could finish it. So I think I read it in 2 days.
My process of reading a book that I love is always very similar, where I read the first 20 pages and I want to give up, and then I read the next few chapters and realize that I will finish the book, and then I get to a point where I don't want to finish the book, and so I'm simultaneously reading it and not reading it at the same time. And then I get really, really, really sad when I finish the book and I can't start another one. And then I hate every song that I listened to while I was reading the book because it makes me remember when I didn't know the end of the book. Does that make sense?
I wonder if we can examine this attachment issue.
There's something to, I mean, I'm also, no, we can't. Because once again, I think we already talked about that. How would I always be right if I grow?
Yeah, exactly. No, there's, I just finished. The first book I started when this whole quarantine started, was Walden and On the Duty of Civil Disobedience by Henry David Thoreau. It's one of my white whales, right? So I was like,
Yeah.
I got to read this book, man. And it was on my queue next anyway. Before all this happened, I was like, well, this is a universe perfectly lining me up because it's a book about a guy who goes into isolation in the woods, right? In the mid 19th century. I think it was like in the mid 1840s is when he was living there, and he wrote it afterward. But that book took me a month and a half to read because it's like he's a poet, he's a philosopher, whatever. Like it's like I would read maybe 4 pages at a time, and it would take me an hour, And so I finally finished that book. And I'm not trying to compare the writing styles of Thoreau and Chuck Klosterman here, but I will say that it took me a month and a half to read Thoreau, and it took me 4.5 days to read Chuck Klosterman. So, that doesn't speak to like who's a better writer.
No, but I think Klosterman might write in a language that you understand more casually.
Yeah, exactly. And
Thoreau is writing like if Bon Iver's actual physical notes melted onto a piece of paper.
Yeah, and then take that metaphor and extend it for another 3 pages in great detail to the point where you forget what you're even fucking reading about.
Yeah. But it's so much, I have an easier time getting through books that were written by people who write in the language. I mean, like the actual verbiage of the language I speak instead of just.
Yeah, it makes me think that like early Dennis Miller was too heavily influenced by Thoreau, with the obscurity and I mean, it's funny how like I had this conversation with comics a while ago, and we don't have to go into details about like actual names of people, but the beautiful thing about pro wrestling for me was always like the heel turn.
Yeah.
And then like they eventually will turn back, like Hollywood Hogan I think is a good example. And I don't, and maybe it's just because I wasn't paying attention to it, but I never realized there'd be heel turns in comedy. But you have like something where you have comics doing heel turns. And maybe it's only a heel turn from my perspective, but I think like Dennis Miller is a good example of a guy who just like he went from, comic to Monday Night Football. Remember that?
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed him on Monday Night Football. I was one of I think 4 people who did, and then after that, there was like a heel turn where he became this like ultra conservative, like right wing.
I think
guy.
the comedian heel turn generally happens when they become a get off my lawn, is what I like to call them, where it's like a stuff has stopped. Does that make sense? It's like, well, now everything young stuff is no longer good and progress is no longer good. Which is so wild to me for anyone to think that everything was progressing great until coincidentally when they were 45, and then now it got bad. And you're like, really, of all of the generations in the history of the entire world, everything got better until you? What are the odds? What are the odds that right when that you were the turning point?
And I should have seen it coming with Dennis Miller, because his opening joke on one of his HBO specials was a joke about how big his dick is.
Right. Sure.
Which is like, I mean, talk about like, hey, get the audience on your side, right? Talk about how big, like how did I not see this as a kid? Like, oh, this guy's an asshole, right? But
especially when it's that big, how did you not see it?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the get off my lawn guy or person, it's like, they don't realize it, but it's like the person who's like, oh, this TV could be better. Let's put aluminum foil on the antenna. Oh, now it's perfect. It never needs to change. It's like, dude, we got flat screens coming down the pipe, and you're like thinking this aluminum foil antenna is doing the job.
Yeah.
Like they just don't have any sight about it.
Someone's asking what a heel turn is, and I guess if you don't know that, it's kind of basically heel turn is when a wrestler who's generally thought of as good and a positive good guy turns into a bad guy. So it's like if Superman turned into Lex Luthor, that would be a heel turn. If he started agreeing with him and he became like Lex Luthor's bodyguard. And it happens in wrestling a lot, where everyone in the crowd generally likes, which they call as being over, so the whole crowd is into you. If a wrestler that everyone likes turns on them and turns into a bad guy, that would be a heel turn.
Yeah, and it's one of the most classic dramatic. It is like, I don't know, to me, and I'm not an expert in pro wrestling, but to me, it's at the heart. It's one of the like things that is at the heart of pro wrestling.
Yeah, it's the
storytelling. You never know
thing.
when someone's gonna. You never know when someone's
because it's wrestling's like storytelling that never ends. So becoming good, bad. I think the thing that pops more, that people are more into, is when a good guy goes bad. That's a better storytelling thing than a bad guy going good.
Well, it depends how bad they've gotten. Because when they get really bad and then they somehow like, because then there's that thing that we all want, is that redemption.
Yeah, right? That's true.
So when there's like like if someone's been a heel for a really long time and then they turn and it's like unexpected, then that gets a pretty big pop.
So I'm saying it's a little bit takes a little more gumption to like go heel, because then you're turning on a thing that is harder to build, getting everyone to like you.
You're losing the kids, man.
Yeah, and by the kids you mean 39-year-old comedians.
Indeed. Indeed.
Well, Ryan, what I want to do with us today, we're kind of really diving into this new game called WikiDegrees of Kevin Bacon. And so we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to set up WikiDegrees of Kevin Bacon, and we're going to play around right here. Does that make sense? All right,
yeah,
everyone.
I'm still smarting about my how I should have had a perfect score in the movie game with both expendables.
All right, we'll be right back.
I know a man, he could give me therapy. What's the use of therapy? You don't want to change, babe. I talk too much when I got nothing to say. Maybe it's to get away. It's easier to walk away. I gotta find the time to let love in. I gotta find myself and let love in.
So let's get in. Let's wiki some Kevin Bacons. That is Andy Frasco in the UN. That is Keep On Keeping On. Give me a, if you put exclamation point music in there, it'll send you all the information on Andy Frasco's website and their album, and you can look at that right there. So we are here with Ryan Singer. We're going to play one final round today. Maybe two final rounds
Wait,
today.
what is that exclamation point thing?
If you put in exclamation point, I got a little robot that'll tell you stuff. Exclamation point Ryan. Look at that. Go follow Ryan. Here's his Twitter, his Instagram, and here is a link to his podcast.
Oh wow, it's not a, this isn't a Google trick or whatever. This is a thing you did.
It's like a little Twitch robot called MooBot.
Oh, okay.
And so I go in and I type in the info. I make the little, I tell it to call it Ryan, and I tell it what to put. And then the robot just does the work. So if you do it with music, it'll tell you the music info. If you do it with Kyle, it'll tell you where my social stuff is, all that sort of stuff.
God, you're smart.
I mean, I'm explaining it to you, and I didn't know it existed a week ago. It's just, it pretty much does all the heavy lifting for me.
Excellent.
All right, so here's how it works. On the left side of your page, you're going to see random article. Everyone here can see both of our pages.
Are we starting on the same random article? The top
No,
one,
we will both
today's?
hit random article, and then we will have to navigate to Kevin Bacon's page from whatever we get on our random article.
Oh, right there. Boom. Got it.
So we'll click that, and then we have to get to Kevin Bacon. So here is what is banned. You are not allowed to go to New York City's Wikipedia page, and you are not allowed to go to the Wikipedia page of any major award show, Oscars, Emmys, or Golden Globes. Okay?
Okay. I'm trying to figure out what the New York connection is, but you don't have to explain it to me.
New York
I'll
City
accept
has
it.
a New York City. I've already navigated through there, and it has an entertainment page that if you scroll
Got
down
it.
to has a link to. You're basically one thing away from him there, and it's just since I've used it to navigate to Kevin Bacon, I want to just eliminate it from the run.
Got it.
Yeah, these rules should just be for me. You guys are right, but now that I explained to him how to get there from it, they're for everybody. But you guys are right. Even while I was saying it, I was like, that makes sense. It should just be Kyle can't use New York City. You know what? It is. No one can use New York. No one can use award shows. I'll say that. Ryan, you can go to New York City if you want, if you come across that.
I'll try to stay away from New York City and try to win this fair and square.
But no one can use award shows, Oscars, Golden Globes, or Emmys. All right. We're gonna hit random page and we're gonna get in. Whenever you're ready, Ryan, hit that random article and I'll follow
Okay,
you there. And talk your way through. What are you clicking on? Where are you going through here? All right.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, click.
All right. I got Wolfgang Liu, an Austrian modern pentathlete.
Oh my God, I got such a wookie. Oh
My
my God,
page
this
is
not
shorter
even
than
in
yours.
English.
My page is somehow shorter than yours. All right,
This
I'm
isn't
going
even
to
in
the year 1968.
Oh my God.
Oh no, I'm on the 19.
Village. I had to go to Village.
I'm on the 1968 Summer Olympics.
Oh, I'm clicking on urbanization.
All right, all right. I
from
gotta find something here. I'm
urbanization-
going to the United States.
Urban culture.
I'm on the United States. I'm on the
economic,
United States
environmental, health and social
page, and no Command F, Ryan. I'm
No
on the.
command- Oh yeah. Okay. I wouldn't even think about.
All right,
that.
I'm on the
Social
cinema section of. Oh, I'm in Hollywood.
Oh.
I'm on Hollywood's page.
Oh shit, I'm lost because I'm on social network page. Social actor. Oh damn.
Oh no, this took me the wrong direction. This is about the city. Oh, here we go. Motion picture industry.
History,
How do
micro
I get here without going to an
Meso
awards show?
level.
Warner Brothers. I'm on
Oh
Warner
my
Brothers
God.
page.
Shit, I'm demography or language and politics. Let's go to
Film library.
I'm clicking on language.
List of
Oh,
Warner
shit.
Brothers films.
Noam
2000 to
Chomsky.
present. I gotta find one with him in it. List of Warner Brothers films,
I'm
2000 to
clicking on
present.
Noam Chomsky. I am on Noam Chomsky.
You know what? I'm going
which
to
is-
older Warner Brothers films.
which is so.
You're in
mean
Noam
to end up
Chomsky. I'm on a
Noam
list of Warner
Chomsky.
Brothers films.
Now I'm clicking on the Occupy. I'm not going to click on the Occupy movement. I lived it. I don't need to click on.
All right, I'm in 1980s
anarchist,
Warner Brothers films.
Anti.
I don't know very many movies he was in. That's the bad part.
Orwell's Homage to Catalonia. George Orwell. Now I'm going to click on George Orwell.
Was Footloose made by?
I'm going to click on. I'm London and Paris.
I don't know any of these movies that he's in.
Teaching career. Hampstead, A Road to Wygon Pier, Spanish Civil War. No,
All
I'm
right.
not going to go there.
Maybe they did A Few Good Men. What movies is
J.B.
this guy in?
Priestley, because I'm hoping this will get me to Jason Priestley. the early years, a career. Is known as a dramatist. Okay, now I'm on playwright.
Man, I don't know any of these. I don't know any of these movies.
I'm on playwright.
Space Jam, was he in Space Jam?
Contemporary playwrights. I'm clicking on off Broadway.
He has to have been in some of these. Was he in City of Angels?
I don't know.
I'm on City of Angels page.
Many off
now. No, he was not in City of
Dear
Angels.
Evan, and I'm clicking on Dear Evan Hansen.
All right, I'm in Nicolas Cage's Wikipedia page now. It feels like I won and we both lost at the same time.
Okay. Oh, best actor in a musical. Am I allowed to go to that?
Yeah. Is that an Academy Award or an EGOT?
No, it's a
Is it an
playwright.
EGOT?
It's a playwright thing.
You can't go on anything under an EGOT. Okay. I'm going
Matthew. I'm clicking on Matthew Broderick's page.
He was. Did Ridley Scott direct him?
Now I'm clicking on
Matt Dillon. Who are any of these?
The producers. I'm gonna click on The Cable Guy, which to me is one of the top 3 best comedies.
I'm going to Leaving Las Vegas.
Okay.
I know he's not in it. I'm going to go to the director of Leaving Las Vegas's page.
Clicking on David Cross.
All right, I'm on Richard Gere now.
Oh, I should have clicked on Eric Roberts.
Film career, Richard Gere career, The Gereer. Sylvester Stallone, Pretty Woman. Was he in any of these movies?
The Ben
Julia
Stiller
Roberts,
Show.
Runaway
on the
Bride.
Ben Stiller Show.
Christian Bale, Heath Ledger.
Okay, so I'm on the Ben Stiller Show right now. Oh, that's a pretty short page.
Okay,
I can't believe that.
I got to get to Tom Cruise. That's my way in here.
I'm clicking on Andy Dick.
I'm on Julia Roberts.
Don't tell him I said that.
All right, MTV. Acting career was Julia Roberts in a movie with Kevin Bacon?
I'm gonna click on News Radio or Less Than Perfect. I'm gonna click on. Let's see here. Star Trek Voyager. No. Comedy Central.
Maybe I can go Rat Pack, Brat Pack, and get to him.
Oh wow. Okay. I'm just trying to. I keep. What's that movie with him and Matt Dillon?
He was in a movie with Matt Dillon. All right, I'm going Brat Pack actors. Was he in the Brat Pack? No, he wasn't. I thought he was.
Yeah. Okay, sketch comedy. David Letterman. I'm going David Letterman, and I'm gonna see if there's guests.
A list of every guest ever. Maybe he was in a movie with Rob Lowe.
The Tonight Show. Rob Lowe's been in a television program or movie with every single person.
Right. So here I'm looking at Rob Lowe's. Was he in any of these movies? Was he in St. Elmo's Fire?
Ooh, Jay Leno. I'm gonna click on the Tonight Show. Okay, it's got some guests here. Steve Allen, or no, these are hosts. Joan Rivers, David Brenner.
Come on. What
Tonight Show starring Johnny.
I'm going to St. Elmo's Fire. I don't even know who's in that movie, but maybe he was.
Oh my God, that's the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Saturday Night Live. I'm gonna click on Saturday Night Live because I think he's hosted Saturday Night Live. They don't have hosts. The list of hosts here. Oh, they do. Oh shoot, there's no way.
All right, I'm on Columbia Pictures now.
All of these.
What did Columbia Pictures make?
19 to 95. Saturday Night Live.
List of Columbia Pictures films. He had to have been in one of these. I'm in a list of Columbia Pictures films. They've made at least 20 or 30 movies.
I am on.
I'm trying to not go to A Few Good Men because I used that one already.
Martin Lawrence. I don't want to click on Martin Lawrence. I'm on 90 to 90.
What year did Tremors come out?
99. 1995 to 2000.
I've never even heard of Tremors. No, I think I have.
If I can get to, oh wait, who here has been? I didn't know David Koechner was on the cast of Silent Night.
I didn't know that either.
Oh, I love Sherry O'Terry. She's on
She's so funny.
She's on my Mount Crushmore of comedy, dude. Let's see here. Who? Norm Macdonald, has he been in anything? Jim Brewer, Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell will get me there. God, I don't know what movies Kevin Bacon has been in.
Right,
anymore.
neither do I. I'm like looking through all these, and I could be scrolling by ones he was in. I'm in a list of Columbia Pictures movies, and I can't even find one he's in. Is he in The Bone Collector?
No, that's
Morgan Freeman.
That's Morgan Freeman and Ashley Judd, if I'm not mistaken. Jesse Ventura. I'm not going to click on Jesse Ventura. George W. Bush.
Is he in Snatch?
Film career.
Yeah, I guess I don't know
career.
anything about Kevin Bacon now that I see this.
Zoolander.
Wait, is A
The
Few
Night
Good
at
Men Columbia
Roxbury,
Pictures? I know it's me doing the same thing again, but I feel like I
Austin
do it. Here we go. I
Powers.
gotcha.
Austin Powers. Okay.
All right. I got us out of this. I made it in.
You made it. You're in one.
I got to Kevin Bacon, yeah.
Oh shit! What? How?
I found A Few Good Men was made by Columbia Pictures.
Ah, damn it! I couldn't get anywhere. I got to Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
That might be Columbia Pictures, and you can work your way back though. All right, Ryan. Here's
Dr. Evil has a Wikipedia page.
So here's what we can do. I'm trying to not use the thing is I keep doing Kevin Bacon. I'm trying to not use A Few Good Men over and over again. Good effort. I got there. Everyone's saying good effort, like I didn't make it to the end. All right, Ryan, you get to pick the Wikipedia page this time.
Oh, we're doing it again?
Any page you want.
Any page? I get to pick the page.
You get to pick our final destination. You get to pick our.
What we have to get to.
Yes, it can be a place. It can be anything with a Wikipedia page.
Let's say this is fun. We're gonna do the only Ryan Singer who has a Wikipedia page.
Who's that?
He's an artist. He's Navajo. He's an artist, and he's the only Ryan Singer that has a Wikipedia page. But we actually been one time I ordered a T-shirt off of his website because it was
okay.
It was a can of it was a play on the Campbell soup can, the iconic imagery of the can.
So he's a Navajo artist.
Yeah, and it said mutton soup. It's a mutton soup can. And the woman who runs the merchandise site goes, Ryan, are you sure you want to order your own T-shirt? And I was like, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm actually a different Ryan Singer.
Okay, we're gonna find our way there. Spelled just like your name.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Okay, go ahead and click on Wikipedia in the top left corner. Get back to your homepage there.
Okay,
and then whenever you're ready, random article.
1, 2, 3.
All right, Navajo contemporary. I got Herbert B. Maxon.
ASDP Ribera 19. This is Association Sportiva Dilettantistica. Okay, this isn't even. Okay, Sicily. I'm gonna
go on Western United States. I feel like that might not be a terrible start.
No, oh my God, you're gonna kill me on this one.
And he's from New Mexico. I'm in New Mexico.
Yeah, you're killing me already.
I'm gonna go Albuquerque.
He's Albuquerque.
Okay,
that's where he lives. Anonymous region. I'm in Europe still. Mediterranean.
You said
sea,
Navajo.
Climate. Oh my God, I should just be clicking on stuff. Roe deer. Wild. I'm gonna click on wild boar and hope it gets me into regions.
All right, I'm trying to find Navajo here.
Gray wolf. Bear.
Is he a notable person? Maybe. Do they have notable people?
North American
history.
Okay, boom. I'm on
notable people. All right. List of people from Albuquerque.
That's actually a good point. I'm not sure if he's even linked anywhere.
Well, so here we are. Art and architecture. Nope.
Oh man.
Music.
I may have given us one that was too obscure. Regions.
Sorry, maybe America. I can find my way back to Albuquerque here.
Yeah, I probably picked one that was too obscure.
Now Kevin Bacon's pretty obscure as well. All right. Okay. But you're sure he's Navajo? Navajo, yes. Contemporary painter. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm gonna look for. I'm back on Albuquerque's page here.
Now I'm on the Western Hemisphere. Holy smokes! How did I get out of there? The Americas. Okay. I need to get to North America. The American Revolution.
They got to have Navajo, a link to Navajo in here somewhere. Here we go. Boom. I'm on the page for Navajo.
United States.
Culture, visual arts, silverwork and weaving. No. Artists, notable artists. Ryan Singer. Oh.
You got him. Damn it. I couldn't get there.
He seems nice.
He's there. He's there, huh?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, he's from all accounts, from all my interactions with him, great guy.
There's Ryan Singer, the other artist in here. Oh no, it's a redirect. What? It's a redirect.
Oh. Whew. I was like, there's another Ryan Singer?
Whew. All right, you can stop sharing that page, and we're ready to wrap things up. I feel good though.
Wow, you beat me twice.
I feel all, I'm experienced in the game, I guess what I'm saying.
You know what? It was well done, well played. I
mean,
that was a pretty obscure one, I guess, and you still got it. You got it faster than Kevin Bacon.
Well, one of them's still working.
Oh,
I guess
Kevin Bacon's gotta still be out there.
No, I mean during the
gonna be in-
pandemic.
He'll probably be in season 4 of True Detective.
Oh man, everyone, please say goodbye to Ryan. Tell him thank you for hanging out with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out. It's good to see y'all.
Nice to see you. All right. Well, hey, look at that. We're at the end. Ostraddle is on Saturday. Shane Torres, Daniel Van Kirk, Sam Ruddy, JP McDade, Sam Evans, and more. It's gonna be fun. Come hang out for Ostraddle on Saturday, 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central, 7 Mountain. And we'll be there on Saturday, Ostraddle. Please come. Last week was so fun. I want to keep doing them. So please come. Thank you guys so much for being here. Follow the show if you haven't. Subscribe to the show if you can. It's free if you have Amazon. Oh yeah, Ostraddle. So it was really fun. It's so fun. Comedians competitively complimenting one another. You can see some history out here. Go there. You can watch a little bit about Ostraddle. And we'll be streaming it right here. It's gonna be streaming right here. Same channel. And we'll see everybody soon. Yeah. Feels good, right? Subscribe if you can. Donate if you want. That stuff really helps. And but it's nice. I'm gonna keep posting some clips, and we'll see you guys on Saturday. We'll see you Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern.